Alright, so we just posted a tier list difficulty for Yasuo on the other channel, so I wanted to do one for Yone too, just to be fair. So, it's gonna be somewhat similar, but not all the way for sure, so it's gonna be interesting to see the differences. Alright, so first start with Aatrox. I actually think it's probably Yone favored. I find this matchup very, very easy. Obviously he's gonna win early game, so as long as you just don't get taken advantage of super hard early game. But even like level 1, level 2, I think you can win, but yeah, it's like once you get items, you just dodge all this shit easily. Or okay, so this is the first point where it's gonna like for Yasuo, it was really easy. It was Yasuo favorite, but for this one, I'm gonna put it as almost impossible. Like the difference is actually insane that win wall makes. Like this matchup is so bad for Yone, man. Like how do you play this matchup? If you don't go in, she just pokes you with W and Q, and if you ever go in, she's just gonna press E. So matchup just feels very, very, very bad. So I definitely do not enjoy it. Akali, I'm gonna put enemy favored, same as Yasuo. It's even worse for Yone because you can't really take advantage of her early game. Honestly, I'm gonna put it's very hard. I think because like it just feels a lot harder. Like what you don't have win wall, so you can't dodge her Q, you can't take advantage of her early game, can't really hit her with anything. So yeah, I mean, just gets level 6, and it feels pretty bad. Pretty bad matchup. Akshan, I would say it's very hard for Yone. I don't think it's impossible, but it's really bad. Very bad lane. He's just gonna poke you. You don't have win wall later on, so you can't even like bank on that. And yeah, it's just like if he has good reflexes, you can't really get onto him either. He's just gonna EOA in time. Pretty bad lane. Anivia, I want to say it's enemy favorite. You don't have win wall. You can't really do anything too much against her. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it very hard. Like the only thing you could do is third Q onto her, but if she's a good Anivia, she's always gonna Q you midway through, and you're just gonna lose half her HP. So pretty bad. A lot of lanes are gonna be very bad for Yone. Yasuo actually has better matchups, in my opinion. Brilliant Soul, probably the first free matchup. Like he's gonna poke you early game, but yeah, no one really plays this champ, so it doesn't really matter too much. Not gonna see him very often. Annie, it's actually a little bit better for Yone, I would say. Although you don't have win wall, so you can't block one of her Q, but at least you have a shield. I want to say it's enemy favorite. It's not as bad as these ones, I think. Actually, no, it's pretty bad. If you're against an Annie Rek'Sai, you can't play the game, so very poor matchup for sure. Azir, I would say it's a skill matchup. Just because he's gonna... Well, actually no, I'll put a Yone favored. I think it's Yone favored. I know like the early game's really bad, but you just go D-Shield second wind, and then he can't really play the game after you get like enough items. You're just gonna keep going on to him, so... I would say that one is Yone favored, and a lot of people in competitive pick Yone into it. As they used to, so... Brand... A little bit harder for Yone than Yasuo, so I'm gonna put Yone favored still, but it's not completely free because you don't have win wall to block his ulti and his Q. But yeah, definitely like still not too bad at all. Camille skill matchup, sure. So that or enemy favorite, but I think it's skill. I like this lane. You just press, you have your E whenever she E's onto you, and W with her W, and yeah, skill matchup. Very fun lane actually. I like it a lot. Cassiopeia, I would say it's very hard for Yone. Anytime you third Q onto her after she's 6, you just die because she's gonna ult. And even before that, she can just W and then kind of puts you in an awkward position. So definitely a pretty bad lane. One of the hardest mages to verse, in my opinion. Very, very rough. Actually, yeah, I'll put Anivia a little bit lower. I don't think it's as bad as these champions to verse. Still a really annoying lane though. Early game. Cho'Gath, I want to say it's Yone favored. I don't think this lane would be that hard. You have more stats than Yasuo, your W's gonna help. And he's kind of just can't dodge any of your stuff. He's really fat and has no movement spells. Darius, Corky first, free lane. Even though you don't have win wall, he can't really do anything to you. And if you ever land third Q after 6, you full to 0 him. Pretty easy lane, I would say. Darius, I would say it is very hard for Yone. It's not impossible like Astro because you can actually kite him. But again, if you're ever like not near him or not near your tower, he's gonna ghost at you, and you can't really kite a ghosted Darius. So just look out for that. So very hard lane. Diana, I would say it's a skill lane. Yeah, it's a skill lane. Just because the shields are really annoying for Yone. Makes your E do a lot less damage. Pretty hard to kill, but I think it's too bad. Mundo, I would say it is I say it's Yone favorite. I don't think that lane's that hard. Just don't stand behind minions when they're about to die, and just dodge his Q. And it should be pretty easy. Not too bad at all. Echo, I would say it's Yone favorite for sure. Lane's fairly easy. You just kind of, if you ever like ease onto you, you could just full to 0 him because you can't really get away anymore. So just don't like use your third Q on Echo if he has his E, because if you do that, you third Q at him, and he just ease away, dodges it, and then ease into you. So just don't do that. It's the worst thing you could do. Fiora, I want to say it's almost impossible. Like, this lane is really, really bad. I don't think it's like completely possible. It's definitely better for Yone than Yasuo, but it's still really bad. You can never use your third Q ever because she's gonna W it. Very annoying to verse. Fizz, I still like the skill matchup. I don't find Fizz too hard, honestly. Just because you have W, which is a lot more useful than Windwall in this matchup. Yeah, you just use your E every time he uses his E to dodge it. But it still can be really hard early, so just look out for that. Galio. I'll put this Yone favored because it's a lot easier to kill a Galio as Yone than Yasuo, but still, a good Galio should never die to Yone. It's gonna be a boring lane, but you're free farming, and free farming for Yone is really, really good. Gangplank, I want to put as almost impossible. I think it's like, I don't know who I'd rather be, Yasuo or Yone, but it's really bad, man. I do not like versing GP at all. A good GP, Yone cannot play the game. You have to go like 50 CS down or something, like really rough. Just go D shield second win and just pray for the best. Garen, I'll put a skill matchup. You can't kill him, but he can't kill you, in my opinion. Well, he can kill you if he has Ghost, and you kind of just like take a bad trade. But I mean, you kind of just free farm against him, which is good for Yone, so I don't think it's too bad. Nor, I would put Yone favored. I still would rather be Yasuo in this matchup, but Yone still does very well. You just go on him in mini form. If you land 1/3 Q on him, he just dies. Gragas, it's just a standstill lane. Like, you can't kill him, he can't kill you. Very annoying champion, actually. Graves, definitely enemy favorite. He just has so much armor. It's really annoying. Yasuo does better into Graves, for sure. Boring lane, he's always gonna push you in. So, not really interactive. One is actually Yone favorite, for sure. I like this matchup. Could never ever get hit by her Q, like her last empowered Q stack, whatever it's called. You just dodge it with either your third Q or your E, and then you just win the extended trade against her. So, that's pretty good. Timer, actually really annoying. I would much rather be Yasuo. Definitely enemy favorite. I don't think it's very hard, but so the champion just beats the shit out of you early game. It's so annoying. After a while, like, you get enough items, you can full to 0 him. So not the worst, but still really annoying early game. Just gotta skip to our really impossible. Like, you cannot beat this champion. It's so bad. It's definitely better with lethal tempo, but I think this champion just beats the shit out of you. To save your E, if you ever get hit by one of her E's, you just die full to 0. So always save your E to dodge hers. Alawi, I want to say, I don't think it's too bad. I actually like playing against Alawi as Yone. That's a skill matchup. As long as you like play well enough to dodge all of her E's, like with your E, you just beat the shit out of her. So I actually kind of like the lane. A lot better for Yone than Yasuo. Jax just counters your kit. Really bad. Very, very bad. You can try to beat him early game if you like play it perfectly, but if he kills you once, you're just gonna go 0-10. So kind of a fun lane though, but kind of just counters your kit. You have to kite him really hard with E and stuff when he's in his E. So look out for that. Jace, I think it's impossible. Like, this champion, I'll put it very hard. I don't think it's impossible. But against a good Jace, you are not going to be able to play the early game at all, so definitely have to go D-Shield second wind on that one. Karma, I'm just going to put skill lane. Well, no, it's enemy favored. Like, you can't do anything early. She's always going to have prio, which just automatically means, like, winning, so. Very annoying early game, but at least you get to farm it out, but I would still put enemy favorite for her. Arthas, I think it's pretty free. Yeah, it's like after a point, he can't play the game at all. You will just, if he's on your screen, you will kill him full to 0, so. Hassan, Yone favored. Not free because you can still die to him for sure, but he's electrocute. If he doesn't go electrocute, you just win really hard. Definitely one of the easier lanes for Yone. Katarina, I would say, I still say it's Yone favored. It's a little bit easier for Yasuo, but still a good lane. Just do not sit on her daggers, and she will not do damage to you. How that champion works. Kale, probably one of the easiest lanes in the game. Just don't go on her level 1, because she has potential to beat level with lethal tempo. Other than that, you just completely beat her kit. After level 6, you E 3rd Q in, the ults, you just E back, and then you just do it again and kill her. So, fairly easy lane. Kennen, I think, is very rough. Yeah, it's a very hard lane. It's kind of like Jace. Just does so much damage early game and has all in. Very, very rough. I would go exhaust against Kennen. But I do not know how to risk this champion. I'm gonna put it as impossible. I don't understand. At least for Yasuo, you can like win wall and his Q, and then you can like play the game, but it's like you walk up, he W Qs you. You have to dodge it with your E or just die. So just up one time, you will just die. Very hard lane. I do not like versing Cloud at all. LeBlanc, I would say it's almost impossible. For Yasuo, it's a lot better. You have win wall. No win wall against LeBlanc equals you can't play the game. So you kind of just, she gets to do whatever she wants. If you ever step up at all and her jungler's there, you die. Very bad lane. Lee Sin, I'll put skill matchup. If not, yeah, it's a skill matchup. It's not too bad. I don't really play some solo lane anymore. Lysandra, I would put as... I'll put as skill lane, just because like you can't really kill her, but she can't really kill you, so it's a boring lane. I have to go either tenacity or cleanse against her though. Who should know I put? Is it Lulu? I would say it's Yone favorite. You kind of get shit on early game, but after a while you kind of just get to free farms. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's a worse karma when it comes to that stuff. Well, actually no. I was thinking like Yasuo as win wall, but you can't win wall with polymorph, so I think it's pretty annoying. Definitely annoying early game. Or it's like skill, because she can't kill you and you can't kill her. If you're good enough, you can like E back and like stop the cleanse, but it still makes you E back, so still kind of annoying. First, Lux, I would honestly say that's not enemy favored, but it can be pretty annoying because you can't win while her Q because you're not playing out. So basically, you just have to like 3rd Q into her, and if you're 3rd Q into her, you have to just like expect to get hit by the Q, which is fine because if you're hitting her a 3rd Q, you're gonna be in melee range for her anyway. You just have to bank on that. So if you're ever 3rd Qing into her, just take the Q to the face, but make sure you're in melee range, so you're still like hitting her. Malphite, I would say a little bit favorite. It's not that bad for Yone because you do a lot of magic damage, max HP damage. Yone's really good into tanks, but Malphite is obviously like one of the harder tanks for sure. Malzahar, I would say it's pretty fucking free. Build QSS, that's all you have to do. You dodge all of his skills, all he has is E and R. Maokai, nobody plays Maokai. I would say it's like a free lane, there's nothing you can do. But nobody plays him top lane for Mordekaiser, I would say it's a skill matchup. If not Yone favored. I mean, he's just a brain-dead champion, so I just put skill because you have to play pretty well and like use your E's efficiently, especially like when you're getting ulted, and build QSS for sure against them. But yeah, kiting is your best friend. Matchups. That matchup. Nasus, I think, is actually very easy. It's Yone favored. He'd still be really annoying, so I'm not going to put him free because he gets really strong with her, but you can kite him very easily, which is how you counter Nasus. Nico, dude, I think this matchup is not impossible, but man, it is just so bad early game. I hate this champion. I hate it. Yasuo's a lot better against her, but even then, so annoying. Where are we? Orianna, basically a skill matchup. I think it's yeah, it's kind of like Victor, where you just like go D shield second win, you just sustain through. Like Yone's pretty good into mages and tanks. Everything else, it's like kind of hard. But yeah, you just kind of like tank through her damage early game, and then you just start winning after like Zeal, Berserkers. Kiana, I actually think it's a skill matchup, but I kind of like the lane. I think Yone does well into like melee champions that are assassins that are pretty squishy. You can kill her in one combo, but it's still a skill lane, and would definitely go cloth armor early game. Ornn, I would say it's pretty free. Yeah, it's just a free tank matchup. Yone is very good into tanks. Pantheon, impossible. Like, you cannot play this game against a human Pantheon. You walk up, you lose half your HP. After he gets Dirk, he will just full to zero you. So you have to go cloth armor early and just pray he just doesn't have fingers. I don't know. Poppy matchup, I would say it's almost impossible too. Or very hard. Yeah, I think it's playable if you just like don't use your E once you use W, which if you do it fast enough, it shouldn't be terrible. So I think it's playable. It's just it's definitely the hardest tank to verse. When nobody really plays it, but when you do verse it, I would put it very hard. Just the harass early game is like unplayable, but after that, after you get enough items, you could full to 0 her in one combo. So not the worst lane. Renekton, impossible against human Renekton for obvious reasons. Go Cloth Armor, even like Rush Ninja Tabby, in my opinion, or he will full to 0 you. Rengar, not really possible either. His only weakness is ganks, so try to get a jungler to gank him, or it is doomed. Riven, I think it's pretty impossible too. You have to abuse her early game with lethal tempo, or you could not really play the lane at all. So he's very strong this patch after the item changes. Rumble, I want to put as probably skill. I don't think it's too bad. He's going to get pressure early game, but he's kind of a sitting duck eventually. So after a couple items, you have to get like Berserker, Vamp Scepter, Zeal, like he kind of can't lean against you anymore. Keep that in mind. Rise, I would say it's a little bit Rise favored just because he's going to abuse you really hard early. The thing with Yasuo, makes it easier, is Yasuo could fight earlier, but Yone really can't. So I would say enemy favorite, he's just going to push you in. If you try to fight him back, he's just going to harass you, and he's going to get roams off, so not the best for him. Seraphine, easiest lane in the game. Self-explanatory, he can't get hit by anything. I love this match. Whenever someone picks Seraphine mid, I get so happy. Very easy lane. Set, pretty impossible, in my opinion. He's going to beat the shit out of you. You can't really fight back too much. Very hard lane, especially like level 1. Like, if he starts Q, just beat the shit out of you. Can't play the game. Or I don't think it's their Q. It's something though. I don't really know. But all I know is when I versed Dragoon, who's probably the best set on the server on North America, it is not playable at all. Shen is also very hard. The way you have to play this lane perfectly. You have to E every single time he E's. If you hit by one E, he's gonna combo it with Q. You'll lose all your health, and then after that, he's just gonna W, and you can't attack back. So, kind of counters your kit pretty hard. So, very hard lane to verse. Singed, I would say, pretty free. Like, he can't kill you. You just get to free farm. He's gonna proxy though, so it's kind of annoying, but yeah, that's good. It's good. Sion, really free lane. You can just save E every time he's gonna use his Q. He can't get his W off. All he can hit you with E. But it very easy take matchup. Swain, Yone favored. I mean, as long as you don't get hit by every single E, you just win the lane. That's basically the matchup. Syndra, I think, is really bad. She abuses you really hard early game. You have no room to like play the game. And anytime you try to go in a third Q, she just eats you. So a good Syndra, pretty impossible to play. Very bad. Silas, I think, is actually Yone favorite. I like this matchup a lot. As long as you don't get abused early game, get to Zeal, Berserkers, Vamp Scepter, he can't play the game anymore. Kind of counter him as a champion because he likes short trades, but you all in him. Tom Kench, nobody plays anymore. Talon, I would put him as skill matchup. I don't think it's too bad. As long as you're using your E to dodge his W when it comes back, you never get his passive off, and you should win pretty easily. Teemo is really hard. I put him very hard. Yasuo, it's a lot easier. You can win while his Q. Yone can't do that, so anytime you try to go on him, he just Qs you. You can't even fight him. This seems really bad to me. I hate versing Teemo. Very annoying lane. Take unflinching because it stops the blind faster. Good. Tristana, I think, is pretty impossible. Against a good Tristana mid, can't really play the game. You walk up ever in W range, she will just W onto you and almost kill you full to 0 over and over again. So, very bad lane. Though definitely the worst ranged 80 marksman to verse. Do not like versing that champ at all. Trundle, I don't think is like too bad. It still might be enemy favorite just because like his Q and his ult is really hard. But as long as you kite him, it's not too bad. It's a lot better for Yone than Yasuo. Tryndamere, I think, is Yone favorite actually. Which is good because there's a lot of Tryndamere one tricks, especially in high elo. He can like abuse you early game maybe, but even then like your level 1 is stronger than his. As long as he doesn't crit like 30 times, so kind of scary, but I think most times than not you should win level 1, especially with Ignite. And Tryndamere usually take Ghost, not Ignite, so you just kite him very easily at space. If you space properly, matchup's really easy. TF, I should put enemy favored, I think. Where's the skill matchup? It's one of these. It's a lot harder for Yone. Although, yeah, because like he just beats the shit out of you and has bone plating. So anytime you go on him, he's gonna have bone plating. And then when you do go on him, he's gonna stun card you. And the only way you dodge that is if you E back, which if you E back, then he's kind of winning the trade anyway. So pretty bad lane in my opinion. Not like terrible after you get enough items, but early game, definitely not very good. Urgot, I don't think is too bad. I think it's a skill matchup. I think this lane is very even. He's just gonna, when you go on him, he's gonna E, and if you don't E his E, or E back when he E's, then you just die. But if you do, then you win out in the trade usually. But yeah, over time, if he doesn't like snowball you, you just win. Vayne, I think is really bad. I would say it's just under impossible tier because like if you do like wait for her to dash, you can like get onto her, but it's still really bad. Like just beats the shit out of you. Veigar is pretty free. I'm not gonna put it as free because the cage is kind of annoying, but it's definitely one of the easiest matchups in the game. It's kind of weird though, putting Tryndamere in this category. Maybe just put Veigar as free, yeah. Just the cage is annoying, but I mean the matchup's like very easy to play. Volkaz, definitely your own favorite. I think it's like kind of annoying though, a little bit. Just because if he ever lands E or anything on you, you kind of just get full to 0 maybe. No, I think it's free. Pretty hard to lose that champion. Vex, matchup's not playable, man. It's so bad. I hate that lane. Anytime you go on her, she's just gonna stun you or fear you, and then yeah, you have to go MR earlier. She'll full to 0-0. Very, very annoying champion. Viego, no one really plays it. Victor, I want to say it's just a skull matchup. If well, it's the unfavored. The early game's really bad, but after that you just beat the shit out of him. I really like. Well, if I'm gonna put Orianna here, put him. Just the early game. The early game's really bad. And after that, you just can't play the game anymore. But he's still Victor, and Victor hard to die in my opinion. Vladimir, Yone favored. I think as soon as he uses pool, you just go on him and he can't play the game anymore. He has no escape. So get his pool out of the way and you just win. Used to be a lot better for Vlad when Yone didn't have tempo, but now he does. So Polar Bear, impossible in my opinion. It's very, very bad. Just like Renekton. It's like another Renekton. Especially since you can just like get rid of your tower too if the jungler's there and you just get full to 0 dove. Really bad. Very bad lane. You just need to kite him as best as you can. Not gonna put Warwick, it's too cheesy. Wukong, basically Bruiser Malphite. So if Malphite's here, I think Bruiser version of Malphite should be pretty much impossible. Very, very bad lane. He's gonna keep CCing you, do so much damage, the clone, everything. It's very hard. Xerath, I would say it's pretty free. You just dodge all this stuff, but even then, it's like not even that free because you can never get onto him. But for a Yone lane, free farming equals free. So Yasuo, on the Yasuo tier list, I put it as Yasuo favored, so put an enemy favored for this one. Because yeah, Yasuo kind of just beats Yone's kit, in my opinion. It's not like super, super bad. You can still beat it, but it's definitely like way easier for Yasuo to play the game. Because you just start out the game winning. This lane, I don't think it's really bad. If you just use your E to dodge his W, no, his E. If you use your E to dodge his E, you just win. So I would say it's the unfavored. I don't think it's very bad at all. Zed, I want to say almost impossible. This champ is really annoying. Kind of counters your kit. I did versus Laceration a couple of days ago, which I actually did well, but it was kind of just a coin flip. Just like, oh, my jungler did better, so I'm winning the game. But you have to go like early cloth armor, even go like double armor and runes, exhaust. Very bad lane. You just can't hit him with anything. It's kind of like LeBlanc. Although I think LeBlanc's a little bit harder. And Ziggs, I would put as the free lane. He's gonna poke you. Well, actually no. I think this one's actually more annoying because if he like, he has an escape. So anytime you go on him, he's just gonna satchel away. In my opinion. So it can be kind of annoying, and he can like beat the shit out of your tower early game. But still, you unfavored. Opinion. Zillion, it's free lane, just kind of like Astro. A little bit harder for Yone, maybe, but even then, it's just like he can't do anything. Very impossible for him. Zyra, I would say, I'll put her one step up from free just because, like, if you third Q onto her, she's always gonna root you into ult. It's gonna be kind of annoying, so. Still Yone favored though, in my opinion, after you get enough levels. And Zoe is a skill matchup, just because her early game is really annoying. But after a set point, she's just gonna, you can just E every single time, so don't forget that. And yeah, that's the whole tier list. If you guys have any questions below, disagreements, or any other tier list you want me to make, either of like bot lane matchups for Yone, because I have been playing bot lane Yone, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.